Hello everyone, welcome back to the Oak Island Research Channel and another game of Cluid Oak Island. Who done it? I was so inspired by Dot to Dot latest video named 3333 that it gave me the motivation to get back in my files and carry on with that work. I had a lot of personal work with my company, so you saw the pace slew down. So interesting. Dot to Dot's video is so amazing in making things easy to understand, and he speaks slower than me, and etc. But nevertheless, we're doing complementary work and we're motivating each other. So let's go on for some more. Again, I'm using the fair use law that prevails in the US, allowing me to use some of the document I'm going to show you on which I do not have copyrights, but I must mention that it's okay according to that law, as I'm only using sample for educational purpose, not making money out of it, and I'm not taking the whole documents. We have one new player, one new card in our cards of stakeholders, let's call them this way, around the La Rochefoucauld map and La Formule in those documents the day they were discovered. And you guessed is Scott Walter. Scott Walter is an academic researcher, TV anchor, I think, TV host. He hosts a show, and he's been publishing several books, including one called Cryptic Code of the Templars in America that I just bought and received. It's amazing that this book again goes through his own story, but it's the same story as the one Don Ruh tells in the Scrolls of Anteora and Zina Halpern tells in the Templar of Mission. That story about that group of Templar that visited the U.S. coasts back in 1100, roughly. Excuse me. And that came back to Europe. And they all mention, Zina and Scott mention the documents and mention all Bill Jackson's story and research through two documents, the Dolores report and the Leon report, sorry, and the Cremona document. They all get the same source of information, and most of their book actually is Donald Ruh's information transpiring in their books. There's nothing new. Once you read the Scroll of Anteora, you get all the material that's developed in Templar Mission and Cryptic Code down to 90%, maybe there's 10% things off. So again, it's another way of looking at the Scrolls of Anteora, which I found very strange and a lot of abnormality and fakes. And I will go through each of them and show you that this book is one of a kind, whether a total joke or something that's got a cipher in it. I tend to lean to the second, but I cannot put my hands on the decoding one. But Mr. Ruh, you're one of a kind at 79 years old now. I'd love to have a conversation with you because you know things. Oh, yes, you do. Anyways, they all talk about the discovery of the La Rochefoucauld map and the La Formule map in the back of the book, as Dot to Dot mentioned, and as I mentioned in previous video, on the night of December at Zina Halpern. I'm not sure it was Christmas Eve. That's not what Donald say. Nevertheless, that's how it happened. The reason why I'm including Scott Walter is because he's the one through his blog, and I will mention the URL later in the slides, that allowed his friend, because they researched together in the past, we got pictures of them together. He published that famous or infamous letter where Donald Ruh states he received in 1979 a document from Bill Jackson explaining that Bill Jackson's team created the La Rochefoucauld map, which was a fake definitely to attract some people from an organization named P2. Geez, that's obscure. That's CIA stuff. I love it. Anyways, it's Scott who allowed Donald to publish that document that Dot to Dot is now combining his video and mine from last time. We know it's this document is a fake. That's the URL if you want to find exactly that thread of conversation following the publication of this document by Don, and it was Bill Jackson who supposedly sent him that. So as Dot to Dot mentioned, thank you, Michael. I mean, I've seen forums and blogs where people saying, well, the font did not exist in 1979. So again, I went through my research and the font existed as I demonstrated, because the first word processor from computer was named WordStar, and it came out in 78 on its first version. I think it had 14 fonts to begin with, and one of the fonts was Time New Roman, which is the one there. I didn't think about the inkjet printer. Jeez, dot to dot, you're that's why we work together, I guess. Of course, that's the reason. And back in the days, you would have we call them Marguerite in French, but they are ball printers. But every time the ball would hit the paper, you wouldn't have such a smooth and precise way of writing the characters. So definitely, yes, that's laser or inkjet, and that cannot be a traditional old days hitting type of typewriter or a printer. And then again, dot to dot, you're marvelous. That is so true. You thought about you dot to dot. That's your name. Connecting dots together. Yes, Nolan's cross. I did never realize that, but Fred Nolan, yeah, he found it, and it was not revealed until at least, or maybe later than 1981. So in 1979, somebody claiming I made the La Rochefoucauld map, and I'll come to that later. That sounds strange, but I'll analyze that later with you. So either the other, um, oh yeah, I'm developing this now. It is possible that the author of the La Rochefoucauld map did know about Nolan's cross, therefore enabling him to create the map before Fred Nolan discovered it himself. Why am I saying that? Because some people put those boulders there. Some people created that cross. So the knowledge of that cross existing was hidden, maybe not lost, but communicated by the people who put it there some centuries ago to a group of people. That assumption is perfectly plausible. Later, by chance or by events of history, some guy named Fred Nolan, with all due respect, because Fred, geez, you would love what we're doing now, and we would love to talk to you, but Fred went to discover this alignment in 79 or 80 and made it publish 81, 82, 83, I don't exactly know when. But it is possible that people knew about it, besides Fred, that knowledge was transferred generation after generation throughout time. That's what I'm saying that. So the guy who created the map, or the guys, the authors, created that map which relies on Nolan's cross, and maybe they knew about it before Fred Nolan knew about it. But that wouldn't be Bill Jackson to me. Why would it be in that circle of knowledge of the original people who made that cross up, created there? Why would he know? He's American, and though a researcher is not part of that community that supposedly is Templar, Hospitalier, down to the church, whatever. It's the Christian stream. And I don't see Bill Jackson. He's on the CIA stream, obviously. Or the author used the knowledge of Fred, and therefore it cannot be 1979 for sure, as dot to dot demonstrated. And finally, I think that signature is forged, and I tried to demonstrate this in my last video, and that was my main angle of attack against that document. I was saying, yeah, the font existed, WordStar existed, but the signature, comparing to other signature of Bill Jackson, sounds very, very made up. And that was my principal argument, but now dot to dot nailed it. I mean, for especially the Nolan cross thing, that's smoking gun, definitely. Therefore, I'm going to return the argument, because dot to dot's arguments are way stronger than mine on the signature. I can nevertheless deduct that this signature is fake, because this document is fake because of the first two reasons. So that was my assumption, or that was my angle of attack, saying that now I got proof. The document's fake. Therefore, whoever created was not Bill Jackson. It was not in 79. And there's the the probability that this signature is forged is higher than 2 weeks ago before I got those arguments from dot to dot. So it's amazing how we can work together. And we haven't worked together. We're doing ping pong with the videos, but yeah, that inspired me. So yes, this is probably a fake. So let's analyze the content. According to this document, that 1979, which I think is fake, Bill is writing to Don Ruh. Bill signs, and it's addressed to Don on top. Bill admits he was part of the people who wrote the La Rochefoucauld map in this document in 79, meaning that Don knew in 79 that the La Rochefoucauld map was not authentic or genuine and was made up by the team of Bill Jackson. Since he received that letter, he must have read it. It's about CIA P2. That's an important letter. Come on. In 79, we're still in the Cold War. Would you send text like this about CIA P2 guys, blah, blah, not crypted? And be able, and Don would be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to stack it in a pile of paper. This is classified. I mean, I would think so. This is still the Cold War in 79. So anyways, so Bill writes to Don, and Bill admits he was part of the people who wrote the La Rochefoucauld map, so Don knows in 79. But in his book, The Scrolls of Anteora, page 311, we understand now, and dot to dot pointed his finger, I just wanted to re-emphasize and show you the text of this. Bill met with member of La Rochefoucauld. That's what Don writes. This man was prominent architect in 99. Bill obtained a number of pages of material from this man, one of which was a map depicting an island that resembles in shape Oak Island in Mahoney Bay in Nova Scotia, Canada. It was written in French. That's La Rochefoucauld map, right? And it's been pictured in Mrs. Happenboom, previously mentioned by me. She shared it with person, connected, blah, 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 blah. So that's the map. So now, Don, the same guy who wrote on Scott Walter's blog, hey, I got nothing to do with this map because I know who made it. It's the team of Bill Jackson in 79. The same person, 2018 in his book, writes that no. Bill didn't make it. He obtained it in 94. Actually, the person died in 95, but it is correct, dot to dot, and I checked on the book, it's in 94. He obtained that from that family whose name is wrongly spelled, and I already mentioned that. It should be La Rochefoucauld and not La Rochefoucauld. That family exists, I checked. And now Bill obtained, so that's a big abnormality. Now, we are really nailing our attention to the fact that this document is a fake. And that why would he do that? Well, let's see why would he do such a thing. But one more thing about that piece of extract from the Scrolls of Anteora here. So I reproduce here. Sorry, my scanner scanned it with a little bit of an angle. How does Donald Ruh, writing this text in his book, how does he know about the fact that Bill Jackson met with a member of Rochefoucauld family in 94, knowing that Bill Jackson passed away in 2000, so 6 years before his death? That's a small time frame for Donald Ruh to meet him again, but he said he met him in 97. How does Donald Ruh know about the fact Bill obtained a number of pages? The only reason I can find is because Bill told him. Donald Ruh doesn't know the Rochefoucauld Donville family, obviously, and it's very likely that it's William Jackson who told him the story about he got that document, and he probably told him it's a very important document and it seems very unfake and very true. So when Don found at Christmas time at Zena's place that map in the back of the book, he knew exactly what it was. He knew it was the map from Mahoney Bay in Nova Scotia depicting Oak Island because Bill Jackson talked about it to him. Because I know that he's himself reporting that in his book. It's not Zena who told him. It's not me who told him. The only person who can tell him that story is Bill Jackson himself. So it means that before 2000, Donald Ruh knew about that map. And I think when he passed away, that's a very interesting thought. When Bill Jackson passed away, the I don't know how you name the guy who was executing the testament, the executor probably in English, called Don Ruh saying, "I've got all material from Bill Jackson, and he seemed he wanted that it was passed on to you. Do you want them?" And that's how Donald Ruh received all the material, the Cremoniat document, everything, and he made his book out of it. And he knew that map should have been in there, probably. And it was not in the package. And then all of a sudden, back at Xena, he finds this pages glued together, opens them, and he finds the map that was missing in the stack that was inherited from Bill Jackson. So I'm going a bit faster. Let's go back slowly. So in any case, Don Ruh knew about La Rochefoucauld map in 1979, from what he claims. He knew about it, informed by Bill Jackson, or he knew about it when Bill told him how he got it, because of this text in his book. Sorry, it's the coffee machine. So the conclusion is that he knew about the map when they found it in the book of Xena. And he's the one who was manipulating and touching that book and opening it. Xena testified in her book. I didn't write the page number, but I took it from there earlier today. Don was sitting in my kitchen, was leafing through his book, and felt something thick in the back. Using a knife, he sliced open a sealed back pocket. So Don is the first one who put his hand on that map, right? And he knew that map existed either way. So we have two hypotheses. Hypothesis 1. The 1979 letter is authentic. In that case, if that letter is authentic, it means Donald Ruh knew about the map in 79. And then on Christmas Eve or Christmas week period, Don finds at Xena's, in the back of the book, he finds those letters. So possible, since he had that book and he lent it to Xena, but he had it from the heritage, maybe he planted the map himself in there, right? Because he knew that map existed. Maybe it was in the heritage package, and he had time, and then he can put it in there. They look at the map together. They go over an argument on the joint publication of the book they've been working on for 10 years. In this scenario, he doesn't have to argue about making the map public or not. He doesn't care. He knows the map is a fake. And then Don Ruh wrote himself a book in 2018, and he showed, I showed that in my last video, it was the last slide, a translated La Rochefoucauld map in English with on-purpose error. I think it's clue and it's coded, but nowhere in the book it states the map is a fake, even though he knew it was a fake since 1979. Here's a Donald Ruh writes a book and saying, oh yeah, Xena Halpern found something and I was there and I found it, and here's the translation of that map, and maybe it's linked with the Mahoney Bay and Oak Island, but maybe it's not, we don't know where it is. That's what he writes. But if we follow that reasoning, in 79 he already knew about that map, and he knew that it was the team from Bill Jackson who produced it. So I don't believe in that scenario. I don't believe in the hypothesis 1, because I believe the 1979 letter is not authentic. So let's move on. Hypothesis 2. The 79 letter is a fake. And that's, I listened to Dot to Dot. I watched the video twice in 2 days, yesterday and the day before, from Dot to Dot, the latest, the 3333 video. And Michael's got that talent to make complicated things simple to explain. And yeah, it totally cleared my mind about it. I think that's the truth here. The 79 letter is a fake. Bill Jackson indeed acquired the La Rochefoucauld map in France in 94 or somewhere else. The more I think about it, that Rochefoucauld, Dudonville, that's wrongly spelled by Don Ruh, I don't know why. Why would they give away a map to somebody or sell it? Why is that map between their hands? That's a bit strange, even though La Rochefoucauld, it's addressed to La Rochefoucauld, un petit verre for Monsieur La Rochefoucauld. I'm not sure about how accurate Bill Jackson acquired La Rochefoucauld map in France in 1994 is, but I'm sure now the 1979 letter is a fake. But Bill Jackson acquired the map. Let's take that as an assumption. Don knows about this from Bill Jackson from one of their latest conversation between 94 and Bill Jackson passed away in 2000. Don Ruh finds the map in the back of the book he lent to Zena. And that's what I was saying. He knew the map existed because he talked about it with Bill. He inherited from Bill Jackson material, but the map was not part of the lot because Bill Jackson did hide it in the back of the book. Because they were extremely important maps, the two most precious piece of things he had, and he hid it there. According to Don Ruh in his book, it's because of Bill Jackson's wife. Bill Jackson claims that if his wife put his hand, and Scott Walter says the same, and even Scott Walter praised his wife after reading that passage. He says, if my wife fall on my documents, she's going to burn everything. Come on. Come on. But he definitely wanted those maps to be hidden, so they're at the back. Let's carry on. So Donald Ruh finds the map at the back of the book at Zena, and he knows how valuable it is. He gets into an argument with Zena, and I totally second dot-to-dot theory, because Zena is a scholar. Zena has been she's a professor, she's a teacher, a researcher. She's not there for the money or the fame or the CIA or anything. And she thinks, I got to publish this. This is history. I've got to show that. And he says, no, you can't. Because this book is mine and I inherited from Bill Jackson. And she must have said, but no, this is so valuable and new. I got to talk to the show. You can't just leave it like this. And he went, no. I want the map for myself because I know how important it is. And there starts the clash. And because she knows she's got cancer, she's going to pass away. She doesn't care. The attitude of Don Ruh is even more suspicious to her. And she must be like me. She must be, what's my sign? I can't remember. Aries. She must be an Aries. So she just goes full throttle. She writes the book and she publishes the map against Don Ruh's will, who's now very upset at her because that map is so valuable and it's out in the public. And a crazy Frenchman and a crazy American guy just decoded it. I don't know if he's reading all what we're doing, but anyways. Let's carry on. He then uses Scott Walter, his friend, that trusts him because they've been doing research together. And Scott sees Don as a very genuine, authentic, nice person, polite, soft-spoken, everything. But, who's behind? So he uses Scott Walter aura and his blog to publish the fake 79 letter explaining the map is a hoax to kind of protect it. Kind of saying, well, you don't have to spend any time on it. It's a hoax, and I can prove it. And he provides the English version of the map with error in translation. I don't understand why he does that then, but that map's got something on it too. So Don Ruh may have decoded the La Rochefoucauld map as I did and Dot did. He may have, because he's got a copy also. It's on the web, right? He's got his own copy. Let's remember Don Ruh speaks fluent French. His parents are both Swiss from the French-Swiss-speaking region of Switzerland. In Switzerland, they got 3 languages, official, Italian, German, and French. And the French spoken in Swiss is French, same dictionary. They got some terms, slangs, accent, but it's the same dictionary. So he knows perfectly his French. All right. So I lean toward that hypothesis. I think that's the sequence of events that happened. So if I carry on my intuition and my hypothesis and dot to dots, it means that this signature is a fake. It is not Bill Jackson. He probably was already dead, poor guy, when Don Ruh came up with this letter. It was after 2000 probably. So this is a fake, and what you can really see is that arrow there, arrow, Donald Arrow. That's a Eastern egg for my friend William. But you can see the shape of that arrow there. And what I did is that I took those each of them, and if we assume this one is fake, the top left one, then most likely The mark one, as you can see, start with the arrow again. It's a sign that person who's doing those signatures can't help himself but having the first bar with an arrow, which you don't have on this one, which you don't have on this one, which you do have on this one, which you don't have on this one. So this might help me understanding what's fake and not in all those documents supposedly produced by Bill Jackson. But we know this one now was not signed by Bill Jackson. By the way, it's the only one you see. The return line's going down, and on all the other signature it doesn't. Very interesting, that signature thing. Very interesting. Okay, one last comment about La Formule and the text underneath. So La Formule was not purchased, according to Don Ruh and Scott Walter and Zena. The only thing that was, well, one of the La Formule was supposedly not purchased from La Rochefoucauld Dudonville. It doesn't clearly say it was. He says there was a stack of documents and the map was one of them, the La Rochefoucauld map, but he doesn't clearly say and La Formule was also. La Formule was obviously not part of that stack. It was given by Bill Jackson at the end of the day, but it was not part of the La Rochefoucauld Dudonville stack. It was in the glued, sorry about that, page, along with, yes, it was found at the same moment. That is testified by both Zena and Bill when they, sorry, and Donald Ruh, when they found that cache, that hiding between two pages in that book, they both testified that the two documents came together. So this one was attached with La Rochefoucauld map. And it mentions Tim McGuinness and the set. So the sentences, the whole block there, Monsieur Hayward in French, might not be directly connected. That demonstrated that the 1978 was connected with the island and the map because of its scale, but you can see that text was somewhat added, and it's written here at the bottom by Don Ruh in the Scrolls of Anteor that the cipher, La Formule, was found in an Anati book. The same book was found La Rochefoucauld map. So they were found together, the piece of document, but it's not the La Rochefoucauld Dudonville who provided this map, obviously, it seems, or it's not that clear. One last thing, it's a long video today. Tim McInnes to David Jackson and the set. By the way, it is not written and the set, one of the seven. It is not. It is written and the set. There's no S after the E there. And the set is numbers 1, 2, 7, 2, 7, again 27, 1, 2, 7. So as I do believe this is coded, the whole text, the whole thing, I think I started to use, but I can't find yet how to use 1, 2, and 7 into that 4 lines of text. And on the side note, there's a lot of non-native French people speaking very good French in this story. Tim McInnes, a new one because he wrote the whole text here in French. And the daughter of Bill Jackson speaks French also, Melissa. I'll get back to this because she wrote a document that's obviously a fake also. Here we are. So thank you very much for watching. We still don't know who, but we know what's fake, one more fake document, and we'll try to spot them as we go to start to find a reason, a mobile, and who, and how they did it, and when they did it, because that still interests me so much. Thank you very much for watching. Take good care, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.